Start simulation. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hi.
How are you all
Good
doing
afternoon.
today?
I'm doing pretty good, miss. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to our learning for today. Are you all ready to learn?
I mean, it's gonna be easy, miss, because like if it's something hard, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, everything that we learn is ultimately connected to what we already know in the real world. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be connecting our experiences. So
Okay.
today we're going to begin our unit on linear equations. So this unit, throughout the unit, you're going to essentially be looking at word problems and then creating linear equations. How do y'all feel about mathematics and linear equations?
I don't really like math, miss.
Oh, I understand.
It can be hard.
Yes, perfectly understandable.
I like math. I think I'm not the best at it, but I mean, I think I like it just because there's always an answer to everything, and so I think that's the part that I like about it.
Very nice. What about you, Ava? How do you feel about math?
It's boring.
It's perfectly understood. What about you, Savannah? How do you feel about math?
Uh, I guess it's okay. Sometimes it can be easy. Sometimes it can be hard.
Mhm.
I don't really hate it, but I don't like love it either. I guess I'm
Mhm.
just kind of like,
Yeah. Well, today, our goal for today is to be able to look at math, in a different manner. I feel that we all come to the classroom and we all have our specific ways that we have certain subjects, specific ways that we view the subjects. So, of course, like you all were sharing a little while ago, there's some of you all who like math, and there's others who maybe may not find math so interesting, and that's perfectly fine because we all are all different, and we all have different interests, and we have multiple intelligences. So that's something that we really value and respect in this class. So with that said, what did you all do this weekend?
life for fun.
Yeah.
I went to the mall. I went to the movies. Because there was this girl that I liked that was gonna be there, and so I went with my friends, and it was pretty fun. I was like sad that Thanksgiving break wasn't like on Monday because I wanted the weekend to last longer, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, I'm glad you had fun and you went to the movies. What do you usually like to buy when you go to the movies?
I like candy. Candies are really good, and then I just like the regular like okay, not popcorn, but kettle corn. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's really tasty. It's really good. So get some kettle corn, and get a big old soda, and maybe some nachos sometimes. But yeah.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. What about you, Jasmine?
This weekend I just spent some time with my mom and I worked on some dancing because I want to try out for the dancing team and so I was trying to practice.
Very nice. That sounds like a lot of fun, dancing,
Yeah.
the dancing team, they do like these different dances with groups and everything looks so
Mhm.
nice and so well coordinated. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's great. What about you, Ava? What did you do this weekend?
Uh, I don't know. I had brunch with my mom. I was like on my phone and stuff.
That's pretty cool. What did you go get for brunch?
Uh, I had chicken and waffles.
Oh, that's so awesome. So did your mom buy you chicken and waffles?
Yeah, she bought.
That's so nice. That's
Yeah.
really nice of your mom. I'm glad you got to spend quality time with her. What about you,
Yeah.
Deb?
This weekend, I started trying to read the Harry Potter books since I've seen the movies and I kind of like them and people always say that the books are better than the movies. So I started reading that and worked on some homework that I had for my other classes and then yeah, I think that was basically it.
Wow, that's awesome. I really love the Harry Potter books. I remember, I would open up a book and it was like I would immerse myself. It was like
Yeah.
another world. I love Harry Potter. That's so awesome. I'm glad you're doing that, Deb.
Like,
What about you, Savannah?
um, my family and I had like a game night, and so we did that, and then um, I just played some volleyball and basketball with my dad, um, and then watched a lot of TV.
That's so cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's
Yeah,
great that you were able to, go and spend quality time with your family and in an active way. That's really great.
yeah.
So you may wonder, why is the teacher asking us about our daily lives? Like, why is she asking us? Well, first and foremost, because I really care about you all and you all are my students. But secondly, remember I told you that everything that we learn in this class is applicable to our daily lives. And in some way, you all may think whether, you have a liking towards math or maybe you find math not so interesting. By the end of the day, you're going to realize that math has much applicability to what we do in our daily day to day lives. So, what I did this weekend, there is an orange grove close to where I live. And, when you go to the orange grove, like you go and you pick your oranges. So they give you two bags, right? Like they give you a bag and you get to fill it and then you pay for it. So, I got two bags and I, bought oranges because, I just like oranges. So that's what I did. And I thought that was pretty fun. So what I was saying, yeah. So what I was saying is that, math is definitely applicable to our day-to-day lives. So and remember I told you all that in the beginning of the class that what we're going to be focusing on today is going to be introducing the unit. So, I know that at first glance it might seem like a little bit difficult, linear equations, like what is that, right? So today we're going to be understanding one of the main components of writing a linear equation, which is a variable. So to better understand that, let's go ahead and take pieces of what you all just shared with me. So we'll start off with Ethan. So Ethan, you shared with me that you like to you went to the movies and you bought popcorn and candy, right?
Mhm.
So whenever, let's just say, you go to the movies, you go with a group of friends, let's just say that there are seven friends in your group, right?
Yeah.
So, and let's just say that one of your friends was like one day, you were feeling really generous and you decided to invite all of your friends to the movies and you paid for all of their popcorn, right? So, obviously, we have seven friends. So you tell them, "Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and buy you all each one of the popcorn combos, and then they tell you that the total is $35. So how much was each popcorn combo? If you had seven friends and you paid $35.
If I
And you
paid,
all can try to figure it out as well.
okay, 7 friends.
Mm-hmm.
They each got a pop. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I got it.
Okay, what did you find?
I got 5.
Okay, great.
Oh yeah, I got that too.
Okay, so who got something different?
I didn't do it to be honest with you, man. I was kind of confused.
Okay, that's perfectly understandable. We're going to be learning about, how to find that out today. So, those of y'all who got five, if you can raise your hand, that way I can know, or give me a thumbs up. Okay, Jasmine, Savannah, Deb, Ava, what did you get?
Um, uh, yeah, I got 5.
You got five? Okay, so Ethan, it's okay, if you were not sure how to do it, that's perfectly fine. That's what we're going to be discussing. So by the end, you'll feel much more comfortable.
Okay.
So those of you all who got five, how did you figure that out?
Well, I just divided the 35 by like the 7.
Mhm.
And when I did that, I got 5.
Excellent. Did anybody else have a different way of finding five?
Well, I kind of like just like remembered my times tables, and I knew that like 5 times 7, 5 times, yeah, 5 times 7 was 35.
Excellent. That's a good approach, Jasmine. What about you, Savannah? How did you get five?
I did what Deb did, so I just divided the 35 by 7.
Okay, great. So we have different approaches here, right? So let's kind of like take a few steps back. So we were discussing that, hypothetically, Ethan goes to the movies and he has seven friends. He buys each of his friends one of the popcorn combos and he ends up paying $35, right? So in this case, what was the unknown? What were we trying to figure out?
How much each popcorn costs?
Yes, excellent. The price of each popcorn, right? So
Yeah.
you all were able to find that the price of each popcorn was $5. Now, what if, they made some sort of mistake? What if, Ethan knew that the price of the popcorn was $5? And let's kind of like switch the situation around where, I mean, is it possible for you to go somewhere and be overcharged or undercharged?
Yeah, yeah, that happens to my mom.
Oh, when did that happen?
Um, it was at the grocery store, and like I think they like she was getting like pies for or getting a pie for Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
And so she got one, but they charged her two, and she didn't realize it until she got.
Yeah, it happens. That's why it's very important to have an understanding. I mean, I know that like specifically you're like, are you realistically going to go to the movies and say, "Hey, I'm here and I'm going to create a linear equation for the popcorns." Are you going to do that?
No, no.
No, right? So, but ultimately, even though, Ethan is not going to go specifically to the person who is selling him the popcorn and say, hey, I have a linear equation to determine what the unknown variable per price of popcorn is. It's still very much applicable, right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, they could have overcharged him or they could have undercharged him, right? So let's say that, he knew, of course, he has seven friends that are going with him to the movies and he's buying his seven friends popcorn at $5 each, right? So now let's think about this in this manner where now our unknown is going to be the total, right? So I think you all would be able to figure that one out. Let's say Ethan says, hey, Jasmine, Ava, Deb, you all want to join us? Let's go ahead and go to the movies. So now instead of having seven friends, how many friends does Ethan have now?
Like plus the 7 that he already had?
Yeah, so the seven friends plus Jasmine plus Ava plus Deb and plus Savannah.
11.
Excellent. So now Ethan has invited seven friends over. So now we know, so we have figured out that the price of the popcorn combos will be $5. And Ethan has a total of 11 friends. So now we have our unknown, right? So what would the total be in that case? And I'll give you all a few seconds to try to figure out that total.
So
So
you said, so what were we doing, miss? What were we doing?
So again, right? We know that the price per popcorn combo is $5, and Ethan is buying popcorn for 11 friends. So we're trying to figure out our unknown, which is the total amount that Ethan spent. So how much was the total amount? How much should the total amount be?
Um, 55.
55? Good. How did you all get that?
Um, well, basically what I did was I put down five popcorn or $5 each for popcorn, and then
Hmm.
the 11 friends, and then I just did like 5 times 11 and got
Very good.
55.
Excellent. I see that some of y'all are still working. So what did you get, Dev?
Um, yeah, so I also got the 55. I think that's the answer.
Correct. That's correct. Did anybody else get anything different?
Not this time. This time I was smart about it.
Excellent. So, it really is about, if we're not sure, that's perfectly fine because in reality, there really isn't one person in the world that knows everything. So it's important for us to have a growth mindset and always, see a challenge as an opportunity to learn, right? So today, some of you all had the mindset like, man, math is so difficult. But now we can see that if you take it in a logical manner in a step-by-step approach, it's not so difficult and it's very much so applicable to our lives. So actually, you all, without knowing, already worked on linear equations. You all already use variables in specific equations without
Mm,
specifically using.
I
Yeah,
got
and
it.
you all were very successful. So the first time around, you solved for an unknown involved the time when we were talking about, Ethan going to buy the popcorn for seven friends, the total being $35, and you solve for the unknown, which was the price per combo. The second time you solve for an unknown involved the time when I told you all that Ethan told Jasmine, Ava, Dev, and Savannah to come along to the movies, and you solve for another unknown, which was the total number of people Ethan was buying popcorn for. And the third time you all were able to use a variable, you were able to solve for an unknown, which is really what a variable is, involved the time when you found 11 friends with combos for $5 each, and you were able to find the total amount. So what do you all think is the significant thing of being able to use variables in math?
What you mean, miss?
Like, why do you think that's important? Like, what if, like, let's say, Ethan, you're not sure like how to go upon finding out the total. What if, like, would it be possible, like, what if you go right to the movies and they say, hello, Ethan, your total for today for 11 friends will be $100. Is that correct?
For 11 friends?
Mm-hmm. At $5 per
Uh,
combo?
no, I'd be like, yo, why you charging me double?
Okay, very good. And how would you try to convince the person? How would you
Oh,
prove it to them?
I get what you're going with this one. So, well, yeah, it's basically like if you do like that math and you're like, okay, 5 times 11 is gonna give me 55. It ain't gonna add to 100.
Yes, excellent. And just like we were able to take the concept of variables with Ethan's example, of going to the movies, we could also very well do so with Jasmine's example. Jasmine, you really enjoy dancing. So we could do the same thing when, trying to figure out a routine. And let's say, you're gonna have like an unknown number of people in the front doing a certain routine. Then we have the people in the middle doing a certain routine, and then the people in the back doing a certain routine. We would be able to figure out how many people we will need per line, right?
Yeah.
Um, so that would be a situation where we would also need to know math and to be able to solve for unknowns, which in this case would be the number of people. Ava, you mentioned that you like to go to brunch with your mom.
Yeah.
It's the same concept, right? Like, would you want your mom paying for more than what it really is?
No.
No, right? So, it could be a situation where, sometimes people get busy. Maybe your mom was in a hurry and maybe the person who was charging your mom really made an honest mistake. But, now since you have the knowledge of variables, right, and, how to solve for unknowns, let's say, you bought 2 plates and each plate was $10. How much was is your total amount?
Wait, can you say that again?
So let's say you went to a restaurant to have brunch for your mom in the future, and your mom buys, let's just say, like chicken and waffles, and each plate is $10,
Yeah.
and she buys one for herself and she buys one for you. How much would the total be?
20.
20. And now let's say, what if they try to charge your mom $30?
Well, she would just have to say no because, like, uh, if they're $10 each, that's 10 plus 10, 20.
Excellent. That's correct, right? But sometimes there's situations where people are in a hurry and they don't check, right, their receipts. So then now with your knowledge, you would be able to let your mom know, and then you could even prove that to the cashier. Just kindly prove that to them.
Yeah.
Mhm. And Deb, you mentioned that you like the Harry Potter books. I am a fan of Harry Potter. Let's just say you buy 2 books and you want to read them in the summer, and you give yourself, let's say 1 book, just to keep things simple, right? You buy Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and let's say that book has 400 pages, and you give yourself maybe 10 days to read the entire book. How many pages per day would you have to read?
Uh, it's probably it's 400
Mhm.
40.
Excellent. Yes, you would need to read 40 pages per day to be able to complete that book, within the goal. So you see how math is applicable there?
Yeah, I can see it.
Excellent. And the concept of variables. And finally, Savannah, you had mentioned, that you like to play basketball, you like to play sports. So let's say, you shoot 3-point shots, right? Like, let's say at the very end, you end up with 21 points. So, how many 3-point shots would you have had to make to end up with 21 points at the end?
7.
How did you find that out?
Because of my multiplication tables, 7 times 3 is 21. So if it was 3 pointers, then I would need 7 of those to get 20.
Excellent. So, do you see how math, particularly variables, would help you in that situation?
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah. What if, somebody said, well, Savannah, you had 7 3-point shots, your total is 15, so you lose.
oh no. I would have to um explain to them like kind of what I explained to you, and the math's not right.
Yes. Excellent. So, do you all see how math can, really help you navigate your day-to-day lives?
Yeah, I see it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
excellent. Yeah, it's amazing, right? So we're gonna go ahead and it's almost time for the bell to ring. So at this point in time, if you all can take a minute to talk to each other and try to identify the main points that you all learned for today. So if y'all can go ahead and share, I'll give you all about a minute, and then each one will share with the class. Okay, so that's about a minute. So we'll go ahead and come back, and everyone will have the opportunity to share. So we'll start with Ethan.
Well, I learned that I use math every day, even though I didn't think I did, because
Great.
it's everywhere.
Yes, excellent. What about you, Jasmine?
I guess I learned that, um, I guess kind of the same as Ethan because I didn't even think it like applied to like dance or anything. And so it was really cool to to see that like how it really is used all the time because we really think like math is just used like on paper when we're doing something like to turn in for class. But no, it's like more than that, and it's like super important.
Yes, excellent. Very well said. Ava?
Yes, I like the whole variables thing. I never thought about that.
And what are variables? What did we say variables represent?
Like the unknown.
Yes, excellent. Yeah, so we can definitely use variables each and every day to find many unknown quantities. Very good. Ava? Deb?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing as Ava, kind of like knowing what the variables are and using them as like a replacement for the unknown, which is really cool because I mean I didn't know that before.
Excellent. Thank you, Deb. And Savannah?
Guess I learned how to work out stuff a little bit more. Like, I didn't realize that like I could use like multiplication and division for like that type of stuff. Like, it all kind of comes together.
Yes, great. So thank you everybody for sharing. Now we have a better understanding of what variables are. So tomorrow when we come to class, we're going to continue our unit of variables and we'll continue explaining what a variable is. And then we'll start to work on creating equations with variables. But overall, you have already used them, without specifically saying, hey, I'm using a variable.
Mm-hmm.
You all were able to use them through your examples. So great job, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's the bell. So you all are dismissed, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have
Bye,
a great day.
Miss.
Bye. And simulation.